Introducing PubCoin. PubCoin is the rewards program for pub sports contributors. Regular chat contributors share their play of the day, POD, in the YouTube chat, including the phrase POD in their message. At the end of the week, the amount of units earned are converted into PubCoins. PubCoin can be used as reward points for prizes, shop discounts, and contests.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Mills here, Pub Sports Radio. Do you guys want to challenge the personalities here at Pub Sports Radio? Do you guys think you're better than them at entering in your MMA predictions and picks? Would you want to get paid for it? $100? Here's how you do it, man. You sign up right here at the link below. It's just this easy. PubSportsRadio.com. Enter your email. Pick your weekly picks. That's it. Oh, and you get bonus points if you can predict how they're going to win in what round. Every single week, a new winner's getting crowned. So every Saturday on Pub Sports Radio. So come on and check us out. You can win $100 just for signing up. Only thing you need to do is see if you can beat us here at Pub Sports Radio by entering your UFC predictions and picks weekly. Do it. I dare you. See you guys soon.
Your membership to Gold, you will be automatically entered in every horse race, every Wednesday and Friday. It is time to race horses. We are racing camels today.
Shout out to the Gold members. We're racing in San Antonio immediately here. And we're off. 2 minutes, 74 canals on this racetrack. It's wide. We're racing in San Antonio.
Matt Wally moving forwardly. Jeff Slaughter in the mix as well. And as is Randall Sheffield, who's put that beautiful nose out front.
But it's actually real grass here, Jimmy. Maybe Kentucky bluegrass. Oldie, no! There he goes. Oldie in the lead now. K. Wolf falls back. The horses love it. Sometimes they stop and eat it on the way to the finish line. That's why your horses start so far in the back. Oh, look at Nussquash Allen bursting out here. J-Dub in the mix. Rude Boy up here as well. Jimmy, take it away.
There's Oldie. Oldie is moving to the front. We are past the halfway mark in our 2 mile. And there's Ricky Levy.
Oh my goodness, he's in the mix here. Jimmy, take it home. This is our first dog race ever.
19 seconds left in the horse race here. It's Fernando Mendoza trying to find the wire. 14 seconds left. Can Fernando Mendoza take this home? Here comes Kenny Can. Kenny Can wants a piece of the pie. Put his schnoz up front. Ricky Bobby, 9 seconds left. Can Donut Silks make a run? Can Red Small make a run to be $50?
Bouquett, you son of a bitch!
Here comes Tori Coker. Kenny Can, Smoke and Mirrors, Director 97. Home. That is the way of Jason Meyer, the Eldorado Custodian, Billy Friedrich. Joe's one all coming down to the finish.
Coin! Nowhere!
Oh no, it's Fanatical Jim.
Get 'em, Jimmy, where Loshak at? The bottle's getting empty, I'm not cracking, we stacking. Chips, all of this, what I want, plus money winners, that's what I'm on. You can say I'm gone, I prefer elevated Pub Sports Radio. Time to get educated, Bouquett produced, fade the juice, letting loose with so much abuse that the bookies wanna call the truth. They get slaughtered, can't forget Jeff and Low Baggers in the chat. That's a little record cause we need, oh yeah, pubbing. We be pubbing!
Hi, and welcome to Pub Sports Radio. I'm Peter Loshak. Today's Tuesday, October 15th. We do this every Tuesday, of course. Today, a little bit of a special show because we have Mr. Gokster only for 15, now 14 minutes. He's got to leave at 11:15 Eastern time. And we got 9 NHL games. We're going to cover college football and MLB. We got Dabby Cab coming, but we got 14 minutes to get everything we can out of Mr. Gokster for today's NHL card. A very interesting one. Of course, Edmonton, of course, an absolute shock to the start of their season. We'll see if he has anything to say about them going up against Philly. But let's bring him in. We got 13 more minutes with Mr. Gokster to talk NHL. Mr. Gokster, we're not going to talk about every single game with you. We know you got to leave in about 10 minutes or so. 9 games on the card. Is there anything, first of all, that jumps out at you that you're particularly liking on today's card?
On today's card, yeah, good to see you guys today. I like Devils Hurricanes. It's going to be a good game, Pete. Devils are another team that's come out really hot. It's going to be their 5th game though, and it's going to be the Hurricanes' 2nd game. They're a little bit asleep their first game out. Going to be their home opener. Their 2nd game at the home opener against Tampa Bay. But I think it's going to be a lower scoring game here, guys. Devils Hurricanes. I do like the Hurricanes to bounce back, but I did just look at their lineup. It's not as offensively, I think, guys, as it's been in the past. Their lineups a little weaker offensively, but defensively, Pete, Carolina is probably the top 3 in the league defensively. With what they got in their 6th, their 3 lines there, guys. When it comes to the Devils, they are scoring a lot right now. It's just how long is it going to keep up? I'm a little worried. I think they're going into a buzzsaw right here in the Hurricanes barn. It's going to be the Battle of Sweden, Peter. Markstrom and Anderson are going to be going. So usually whenever you have like Russian goalies, Swedish goalies, Finnish goalies going head-to-head, it's usually a lower scoring game. These are 2 veteran goalies as well, Markstrom and Anderson. I just think, especially Anderson at home, Frederik Anderson, that is for Carolina, guys, he's a stellar goalie at home. That's when I want to back him more so than not. No real big injuries. They got Lemieux out, Fast, Peche, Luke Hughes is out for the Devils, but should be a good bounce back spot. The Devils are playing good hockey, but I think they're going into a buzzsaw tonight, Pete, with the Hurricanes. Okay, so you like the under or you like Carolina? So I tied it together. I've been doing this lately, Pistol. I tied it together. I got under 8.5, and I got Carolina money line at minus 110. Wow. Okay. All right. Anything else? Go ahead. Anything else you want to specifically identify? Next game here is going to be Kraken Predators. Kraken, 3rd game of a road trip here, 7 goals, 4-9 against, 14% power play, 71% penalty kill. Predators, they are winless, but they played a good Dallas team. And then they lost at Detroit after Detroit came off a really bad performance at home. This is going to be a much better spot, I think. Bounce back for the Predators. You got Decord in net too. He did get a win, but he was 34-38, allowed 4 goals in that win they had against Minnesota. So the Predators, I think, are very live today. Seattle is healthy, but this Predators team, Pete, I'm really high on this year, and I would be quite surprised if they don't get this one done. So similar to what I did in the last game, I'm tying this together. Nashville money line and the over 4.5 at plus 100. I expect there to be some goals tonight. Decord going to allow, at least in my opinion, 3 goals here. Saros, he's going to have a better game. Only where it would be is if Kraken don't get enough goals here. If you guys want to take Predators regulation, I wouldn't talk you off that. But Saros bounced back at home. I love it. Predators is probably my favorite spot on the card today. Wow, yeah. So for people who don't follow hockey so closely, Nashville, huge acquisitions in the offseason, big ones and small ones. Stamkos and Marchessault both added for Nashville, and they had some other additions as well. So huge expectations for Nashville this year. Supposedly a great goalie in Saros, but of course, first 2 games they lost, and that was not good. Now this is their home. No, it's not their home opener. No, it's not their home opener. Right, it's not their home opener, but they've lost 2 games pretty bad so far. Going up against Seattle should be a beatable team, but the question is are there troubles for real, or is this just an opening season blip for a team with high expectations? And Mr. Gokster liking a bounce back from Nashville. Anything else you liking today? One more, Pete. I got the Wild and the Blues. This is going to be a good matchup, really tight line. Was plus 100 on the Blues last night when I hit it, actually. When I just tweeted it out, minus 109 now on the Blues. Injuries are catching up to the Wild early, Pete. I have Eriksson Ek day-to-day. Spurgeon's going to be out. They've already called up a guy from Iowa. And then Johansson's also day-to-day. So they got some key guys already going to be out. Fleury's going to be on the road. I don't like Fleury on the road. They got a 57% penalty kill right now, the Wild do. They're going on the road to the Blues, who 33% power play early on, 80% penalty kill, and this is their home opener too. Yeah. Couple injuries, Pete, with Texier. He should be back, though. I think the Blues are live, minus 109. I'm taking a shot with them tonight. Yeah, St. Louis last year had big offensive problems. They got wins with their new coach, but they were having problems scoring. Supposedly they were going to fix it in the offseason, and so far that looks like it has been the case. And they're getting that guy Brendan Saad back for this one. That's another boost for them, supposedly. So, I was thinking the same way. Small home dog, St. Louis. I like that one on the overnight line, and it has moved in their favor, and you hit it. And maybe the St. Louis team total over as well? Yeah, I would say that's definitely live. Bringing up those penalty kill numbers, Fleury on the road, missing their top defenseman too in the Wild. Blues are live, yeah. Team total too.
Okay, all right. Anything else you want to identify?
Those are the three that I hit hard, Pete. I got a couple other games that I did break down. If you guys got any questions about, but
well, can I ask you one quick one?
Sure.
I think the play of the card is obviously Columbus as a big home dog against Florida. I'll go over it quickly. First of all, it's their first home game with obviously the tragedy of Johnny Gaudreau hanging over everything. They're playing Florida, who's on a back-to-back. Florida, great, obviously, but they have no Barkov, no Kachuk with some injuries. I've had a bad read on Florida this year so far. I did take, of course, I took the first period under in that Boston game. That one lost. And then Florida won. I took Boston in the rematch yesterday, a few days ago, and Florida beat him. So maybe you have a bad read on Florida, but it seems like Columbus, at the very least on their team total over, is a good bet here.
I would agree. I don't know what to do with this Florida team either, Pete. They've been a hard read. Kind of laid an egg. They've been laying eggs, and then they've been showing up against Boston, really.
Yeah.
It's a hard game. I wouldn't talk anyone off Columbus. Look what they did against Colorado. I said on the show, I think with you or with Jose, I think Colorado's a bit of they're a letdown team this year. Columbus went in there and showed that, beating them. They're going to start Dean Evason's going to start Merz Lincoln's in net, which I don't mind here. Jordan Harris will be on the left side with Branson. Okay, Jack Johnson come out. They're not going to be. This is the time to hit them, if anything, Pete. First period could be the look, though. I would maybe worry about them 60 minutes just against a better hockey team. But those injuries you brought up are pretty key for Florida. First period is where I would look with Columbus here in that game.
Yeah, or more so, team total over at just 2.5 minus 140 or so.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, what other games you want to discuss quickly?
What else we got here? Flyers and Oilers. Man, Oilers, Pete. They got problems.
Yeah, what's up with them?
Well, I was talking about it. They brought in some new pieces, and this one guy they brought in, Jeff Skinner, he's not a problem in the locker room, but, I've heard he sometimes doesn't exactly easiest to get along with their Jeff Skinner. They moved him up with McDavid and Hyman. He was on that second line with Draisaitl and Arvidsson, brought Nugent Hopkins. So they're trying to move around their lines, give this team some time. I don't know when it's going to click. They got not the toughest of teams here for the Flyers. Tough start for the Flyers too, Pete. 4 games on the road. Got a 25% power play, 80% penalty kill. Ersson had their one win too. He's going to be starting from what I have here, 24-26. Injuries are pretty much a wash. Kane is out. They could use Kane. But the penalty kill, 44% for the Oilers right now. It's defensively, if just look at them defensively, they've added Travis Dermott. Not exactly a top defenseman there with Nurse. They got to get it going sooner or later, but I wouldn't exactly say the Flyers are the easiest team to offensively get it going there. Their coach them pretty tough. I would lean to the under in this game. The way the Oilers are playing, they have to start locking down defensively, especially with that penalty kill. So I would lean towards the under in this game tonight.
All right, let me ask you about one game. I'm sure you looked at least a little bit. You might not have anything to say about it. I don't, because that's why I'm asking. Vegas, of course, rolling, right? They've won their first 3 games, and Vegas always starts the season super hot, right? Last year they had a great super hot start. It was not just a couple of games. It lasted for like 10 or 15 games. They've won their first 3 in a row. This is their first road game. Caps, you have just one game for them. They lost their first game as a home dog to New Jersey, but the Caps, they have Ovechkin. They also added a bunch of young guys. So I'm not sure what to make of this one. It's possible in retrospect, Vegas to get a 4th win as a moderate road favorite was a great play, or Washington coming off a loss as a home dog had value. This is a tough one. You got anything on that one?
I would think the Washington have value a bit as a dog right now, Pete. Looking at their lineup, this is a team I think that's going to be a lot better than you think. McMichael, Lafreniere, they added Porteous. He's on the first line with Strome, Ovechkin, Vrana. I don't mind Washington here defensively. Still got Carlson, added Jacob Chychrun. Faravari is a good up-and-comer. Sandin's on the third line. Wow. And then in net, this is the big thing, Pete. They got Logan Thompson starting. So he was the goalie for Vegas for a long time. You guys know. He was in net there for I think 2 or 3 years. So he's going to be starting for Washington tonight, facing his old team. I would lean towards the over in this game. Washington played the Devils, was 5-3. They put up a good fight in that game, just couldn't get it done against a pretty fiery Devils team. I would lean towards the over. Washington team total over 2 even in this game. Vegas's first road game as well. They have looked good. They haven't really played too tough opponents though, right? I think Vegas have They played Colorado. They beat Colorado, who's a bit of a letdown. I think they played San Jose and another pretty weak team. So I think Washington is live in the over tonight in that game.
All right, there we go. We got 3 more minutes, all 9 games. We covered the entire 9-game card in like 7 minutes. What's up with these hour-and-a-half NHL shows? We can do the whole fucking card in 8 minutes if we want to, Mr. Gokster. Well, you got 2 more minutes before we need to let you go. You got anything else you want to hit us with, or you want to go early?
Well, no, let's do the chat scene. What's going on, guys? Yeah, headed to the game tonight. Let's go Flyers. Let's go, Rebecca. Enjoy that game. Flyers team total over there. Nate Dogg's also on the Flyers. Gokster was a strong lean for tonight. I really like the Predators tonight there. That's one of my favorite picks. Same with the Blues. Really like the Blues as well. Calgary and moneyline in the full game over from Nate Dogg. I looked at that one. Last game of a 4-game road trip for the Blackhawks. 43% power play right now. Both these teams are scoring. I would lean towards the over in that game. Maybe both teams to score in the first period as well. Chicago Flames. And then the Canucks and the Lightning. 6 of the last 8 games there, guys, have gone over the total. This is going to be Tampa Bay's home opener, though. They had the big hurricane that hit. So going to stay off that game. Should be a good one tonight there.
Yeah, Tampa Bay. That's what I was thinking about. I had Carolina in their first game, and I lost on that one. And Vancouver, I always have a hard time reading Vancouver. They lost their first 2 games, in OT, both as a big home favorite. Yeah. Is Vancouver like overvalued right now, and you on auto fade?
I don't know if they're overvalued, Pete. They can still score. It's just closing games out. I would lean to the over in this game here. It's tough. Vancouver could win this game, to be honest. They should have at least snuck one of those games out. They're going to be pretty pissed off going down to Florida here, or to Tampa Bay. So I would lean towards Vancouver actually on a bit of an underdog there.
Okay, yeah, I'm looking at Tampa Bay. I'm like, Vasilevsky had the injury, earlier in his career, and he had some bad starts. But this year, he looked great in the opener. And if Vasilevsky is an elite goalie, Tampa Bay definitely has the lineup to win most of their games, especially at home at -130 or whatever, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And one more thing here before I go here, Dan Bonner, shout out to Danny there. He's asking about no goal in the first 10 minutes. I usually give one of those out, Pistol. I would say Devils and Hurricanes. I think that's going to be a lower scoring game. They haven't played since Friday, too, the Hurricanes. 5th game for the Devils. They played 2 games overseas. So I would like that as the no goal in the first 10 minutes there, Devils and Hurricanes.
All right. Thanks so much, Mr. Gokster, breaking it all down in 10 minutes. And we have to let you go. We'll talk to you next Tuesday, Gogi.
We'll have more time next week, brother.
Hell yeah. All right. So that we got Gogi's thoughts. Yeah, just hit the main points. That just goes there to show you Jose Bouquett. I'm not opposed to long shows, Mr. Jose Bouquett, but you can really cut the shit down if you need to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you did an you did an impressive job there, Pete.
Talking fast, drinking my coffee. All right, so we're going to chill out just a little bit. I got to post this on Twitter. Then we'll go over, once again, NHL game by game. I'll reiterate what Mr. Gokster told us, and everyone in the comments section can comment on each game. I've already gotten a bunch of endorsements for my looks on Columbus. I think the team total is probably the best way to go, but the full game and first period money lines as a dog, probably good. Then we're going to talk college football with Dabby Cab, including Georgia, Texas, and then we're going to talk about the MLB game, and then we'll get the hell out of here, right, Jose Bouquett?
Accurate, and Sharpie will
All
be
right,
joining
can
us for
you
MLB
just like
as well.
bullshit with the comments section for a couple seconds while I post this on Twitter, and then we'll get into NHL?
Sure. I will let you guys know as well that I am also on the Columbus Blue Jackets. I took an L last night with the Jets. It was extremely, extremely, extremely frustrating to watch that game. They obviously trade for a wide receiver now. And it's fine. I'm not ultimately too thrilled with it, but it's going to be an interesting week to say the least when it comes to that. And I will let everyone know that Jimmy as well also is all over the Jackets tonight. I don't know exactly how he bet it. He just told me he was all over the Jackets. I am on them as well with you guys. So I expect Columbus to go out there and do their thing. I'm also very excited to talk about the baseball games today. Everyone and their moms on the Yankees today. We'll see if we get another replay of yesterday's Dodgers-Mets series. That was pretty easy call. We took the under in the Guardians-Yankees games to cash by half run, thankfully. So that was nice. But shout out to you guys in the chat. Ron Crawford dropping his little spreadsheet play of the day there. Vancouver today. Shout out to you, Ronnie. So shout out to you there, Ron. Nice to see razor sharp picks in the chat coming off of hitting a huge 40K pick 5. Shout out to you there, Razor, Kongs, Clips, Nutflush, Allen also in the chat. Danny Bonner in the chat here. Nordy, thanks for watching, Nordy, and have fun at the Flyers game tonight. That'll be a lot of fun as well to see old hockey back in your life there, Nordy. And I will say NHL is probably the best sport to watch for you live there. So shout out to you, Robert Franklin, in here as well. It's going to be a fun show, ladies and germs. J-Dub not getting the Devontae Adams jersey. I can't confirm that. But maybe an Aaron Rodgers jersey. Who knows? Maybe we're feeling frisky. But Pete, what about you? How was your weekend, Pete?
It was okay. I mean, it started. I mean, I'll tell you this right now. You know, I still at this after all these years don't know whether to trust myself or trust the friggin' market because you know, I had the Chicago Bears -2. As soon as that line came out, pounded it. It was going the other direction all week. Game day, it was +1. So I was like, all right, I'll hedge out of it. Of course, they win by 20, and I didn't make any money on the game.
That's classic. That sounds a lot like you, Pete.
What was I thinking? I knew exactly why I like the Bears because I just think the Jags are overvalued in general right now. A London game, it's their first out of 2 for the Jags, and the Bears went there early. So it had Bears written all over it. I was going to use it in the Pub Sports Radio contest. I was going to use it in other contests. I pounded it. And all week long, when it got to pick them, I was still like, all right, I'll just go with it. And then day of game, it was +1. Now the Jags are a favorite. I was like, all right, fine. Because the same thing happened to me with Rutgers and Wisconsin. I bet Rutgers, the line moved in Wisconsin's favor. I didn't hedge out of it. And, of course, Wisconsin beat them 42-7 or something. So I got spooked, hedged out of it, Jose Bouquett.
All right, well, that's interesting. That sounds like you, Pete. I'm not going to lie. Real quick, Pete, did you look at the soccer games today? I know you love capping these international soccer.
I took a few. What did I take? I took I mean some small ones I don't necessarily love, but I did take Kosovo to score 2 goals. I took at about like -170 or so. I took Spain to score 2 goals at a decent line against Serbia. And let me see. Let me just go remind myself if there's anything else that I took. Trying to remember. I kind of like Uruguay against Ecuador. Draw no bet, although that's a big line if you have the cojones to do that. And let me see. I'm just looking over, trying to remind myself of what the hell.
You said Uruguay, right? Not Paraguay?
Yeah, Uruguay.
Yeah, good. I was about to say if you went took Paraguay today against Venezuela, Pete, I'd have
that game passed on. I did take Uruguay a little bit. Don't want to mention the line I took. Let me see what else. That's about it. Yeah, Spain to score 2, Kosovo to score 2, and that's about it. Jose Bouquett.
All right, fair enough. I was curious. I know you love getting into these football games now.
We'll see how it turns out. Both of those are decent sized favorites. So if they split, I'll lose a little bit, but we'll see. Hopefully they'll both cash. I'm just looking over the game. Can't even remember. Can't remember what the hell I took. All right, we can. All right, there's your answer. Now let's look at the comment section, and then we'll get into an NHL. Let's see what we got here. Wager Detective. Oh yeah, people are talking about the South Alabama game. Yeah. I was thinking that it was South Alabama roll situation, but now the line has gotten bet up. We'll talk about that with Dabby Cap. 3 interesting games on the card tonight. And there you go, Nutflush 16. Pete, what did the media say about Jags? So I was like, who the hell is betting the Jags? I mean, and why? And maybe that's it. Maybe just the media was just telling all this bullshit, and enough people bet it that the books are like, all right, like the Super Bowl. They're like, all right, we got to move the line, even though we know it's wrong. That was really dumb. Yeah, Am I Lying asks about Kennesaw money line. Of course, Kennesaw and Middle Tennessee, both terrible teams. Kennesaw, a big underdog, and Kennesaw has extra rest. I was thinking, it's tough because Middle Tennessee is obviously a shitty team, but much better than Kennesaw, and they're on a short week, except that they're off of a bad loss. If they're off of a win, then I would be loving Kennesaw first quarter or first half. But with Middle Tennessee off the loss, I'm not so sure. We will talk about it, though. Let's see. Shout out to Nutflush 16. Let's see. Comments here. Anything you seeing interesting they want to shout out here?
No, we're going to talk about all these college football games here soon. Dabby Cab joining us, giving his best bets and such. And it's nice having football every day for all of us out there. We had like 50 straight days of football, so it'll be fun. And these hockey games are interesting, Pete.
Yeah, my dude saying Blackhawks playing good hockey. Yes, they are. My dude loves Vegas. Okay, to keep rolling again. Vegas won like 12 games in a row last year. It wasn't like 3 or 4, and then they came back down to earth. It was like a big opening run to start the year. Let's see. Just glancing here. See if Mally Mal loves Nashville. Okay, yeah. It's so tough in the beginning of the year when there's a team with huge hype that starts out totally shitting the bed, and you're like, well, what do I do? Do I ignore it? Do I time a reversal of form? Or do I continue the bed shitting? Do I bet on the bed shitting to continue? Let's see. All right, you ready to go, Jose Bouquett?
Let's do it.
Then we got Justin McElvey. Stacks play of the day, Ramirez over 1.5 bases at plus money. Okay.
Yeah, shout out to Jose Ramirez, and let's run it one time for Stacks.
Stacks.
Pete, one comment real quick before we get into hockey here. Joseph Gomez, a good one here. Argentina-Bolivia tie plus 1,200. Bolivia might be the hotter team right now. I know they are because they're the team that won last time 10 men against Colombia, and that win was very detrimental to Venezuela. But yes, and Argentina, they still need these games. They need all the points they can get, but I can see the look there. Joseph, so shout out to you. Plus 1,200, good look.
Very nice. Okay, yeah, in the UEFA League, I did really well yesterday, so I'm hoping that continues. I took Italy team total over, and who was the other one? Sweden team total over. Both of those cashed nicely. So yeah, hopefully we got the same today with the two that I mentioned. We'll see though, Jose Bouquet. All right, let's get into NHL. Ready to go?
Ready to go.
Okay, everyone in the comments section, we got no Gokster, so just let us know what you think. Vancouver and Tampa Bay, first game on the card. Ron Crawford, NHL play of the day. Is Vancouver as a dog? Vancouver, of course, lost their first 2 games in OT, both as a big home favorite, and this is their first road game. And then Tampa Bay won their first game at Carolina. Vasilevsky looked great in the opener. And, of course, Vasilevsky, if he's in top form, earlier in his career, he struggled a little bit when he had injury issues. Looked great in game 1. And I'm very scared to, maybe I'm biased, maybe I'm overvaluing Vasilevsky, but when Vasilevsky's playing well, it's very, very, very difficult for me to bet against Tampa Bay unless I have a real good reason to do it. They're a suspiciously low line here, low favorite here, like minus 125 or 130. I saw it at minus 125. Let's see where the line has moved. Yeah, right around 130 or so. So I guess that's a reason to not bet Tampa Bay because it's suspiciously low. Ron Crawford, like in Vancouver, at plus 117. I think I'm going to pass on this. Let me know what you guys think. Gogi, I forgot what Gogi said about this one. Did he say? I think he said he was leaning over. So I don't remember what he said, but I was leaning under here because Vancouver lost their first 2 games in OT. They have always had a strong defensive identity. Right. They tried to get better scoring in the offseason, but their defensive identity is always something that they've prided themselves on recently. And then on the other side, you got Vasilevsky, great in game 1. So suspiciously high total, which makes me nervous about the under. But I was leaning under on this one. Again, Ronnie Crawford, play of the day, Vancouver. What can you tell us about this, Jose Bouquet, while I look at the comment section?
Yeah, I'll mention to you, Pete, some markets in these games. 85% of the bets and 87% of the money on the over in this game. So, typically we all, I feel like we all want to be on the opposite side of all that money. So, under not a bad look here. I'm going to let you know now, Pete, totals-wise, at our friends at Bet Online. They opened this game minus 115 to the under. It is now minus 124 to the under 6.5 here. So I like the look here. If I had to make a bet here, it'd be an under.
Yeah, let me see in the comment section. Seeing Robert Franklin like an under 50 in the Kennesaw game. Yeah, that was my my lean as well. Kong's Clips loaded up and smoked that NFL game last night. Very nice, Kong's Clips. I actually had the Jets in teasers, so I made money on it, but I also had the Jets in friggin' contests and, of course, lost with that. All right, and then Rodney Barton dropping in to say, hey, ugly, rainy, and cold Tuesday here on the East Coast. All right, I guess, let me see. Yeah. God, I really want to take a shot with the under. What should I do? Didn't Gogi say that he liked the over in this one?
Someone rewind and let us know because I was not listening too closely apparently as well.
And just 6.5. That's scary, but gosh. All right, I will. I'll add that one on. I'll add that one on. It feels like it should be lower. Let's see who's starting for Vancouver. We got what do we got here? Lankinen unconfirmed. Yeah, I mean they're going to have to come with a goalie. Someone in Vancouver is going to have to play well. But if Ron Crawford likes Vancouver, presumably it's because he doesn't think Vasilevsky can get lit up. I don't really know. All right, I'll hold off on the total for now. Maybe I'll add it at the end of the segment. All right, next game on the card, Vegas, Washington. Here we go. Vegas again. First 3 games they won, and then last year Vegas. They won like 7 in a row. Their first 12 games, they were unbeatable. Small favorite here against Washington. Again, Washington, it's hard for me to get a read on the Caps right now. They retooled with a lot of youngsters around Ovechkin. And, so there was some people projecting them to be a lot better than others and a lot better than last year. They lost their first game as a home dog to New Jersey, but New Jersey's looking pretty damn good right now. So Washington's getting a home dog line here. I'm going to pass on this one. And Mr. Gokster, of course, told us that what did he tell us about this one? I think he liked the under in this one, didn't he?
Yeah, I think so, Pete. And you're going to see this. You're going to hear me say this a lot, it seems like. 89% of the bets, 93% of the money on the over.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like I'm going to refresh here. I don't know. Action's showing 5.5s, but on my odds sheet, I'm still showing 6s across the board here. For this game. I mean, obviously the juice is going their way. We're getting -120, -115 to the under 6.5 here. All the money on the over, so probably lean under here again with you.
Mm-hmm. Let me see. Truth Teller saying Monday Night Football is prime example. Everyone was on the Bulls and we won. Yeah. I mean, it was pretty close though.
Yeah, it also.
Wait! Everyone was on the Bulls. Is that true? Everyone was on the Bulls? On the Bills?
On the Bills, yeah. Everyone was on the Bills.
All on the Bills.
Everyone was on the Bills. The line moved towards the Jets.
The Jets.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. Well, I mean, again, it took 2 missed field goals from like 20 yards away off the upright to help out there. But I mean, hey, it doesn't matter. The cash is the cash. So. Yeah,
and then the interception at the end. Yeah, I think that the best play on that one was clearly the Jets teaser. I mean, that was. But we'll talk about that later on, I guess. Let me see. All right. Okay. Vegas, Washington. I guess I'm going to pass. Some people really liking Vegas here. Who was it? But yeah, I think I'm going to tread kind of lightly early in seasons in the NHL season. My lean, I don't even. Yeah, man, it's tough to bet to fade Vegas right now. It's hard to bet into an obvious spot. Anyone who bets Vegas, I hope you cash. I'm going to pass. And again, that's right. Logan Thompson is starting for Washington in goal, and he of course came over from Vegas. So yeah, I would definitely be leaning under here as well. Yeah, and it's the Capitals defense that they revamped and retooled. They boosted up their blue line. I think the under is a decent play here, and I'll probably bet it in one way or another. But as of right now, I'll pass. Next game on the card, New Jersey, Carolina. So again, Carolina, kind of a bad opening loss to Tampa Bay in their first game, and then their next game was canceled. So they haven't played in a while, and the Devils have been great so far, right? They are on a back-to-back. They won 3-0 yesterday against Utah. But they have definitely been rolling. All the pieces are working so far for the Devils. And Carolina, they should be good, but they do have some. They also added a bunch of pieces in the offseason, and they might be a little bit rusty here. It's just their second game with a bunch of days in between. And it's tough to fade a team like New Jersey as a dog, even on a back-to-back with a team in the situation that Carolina is in. But Mr. Gokster does like a bounce back from Carolina. He took a parlay with Carolina to win and the under at like 8.5 or something. So he got like -110 on that. He likes Carolina to at least win the game. He mentioned how the goalies are going to be competitive here because they're both, from Sweden or Finland, one of those places. Man, I guess I'd be leaning under as well. And as far as a side free play, sure, I'd put it on Carolina, but I'm not going to bet him as a favorite. What's the market saying, Jose Bouquett? And I'll look at the comment section.
Yes, so this one, again here, 80% of the bets, 82% of the money on the over in this game. We have the total from 6.5, and it was juiced to the under already, but we went down to a 6 on Bet Online here. So you could say it's a real movement. You can say it's a fake movement. I understand both sides there. Heritage still showing a 6.5. Wasn't 6 there, but went back up. And Bookmaker here, they also went from 6.5 down to 6 here, still showing that 6 juice to the over. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to sound like a broken record. It'd probably be under for me again.
Yeah.
Here. I also do like the goalie matchup from the same country. Always motivates two players. So yeah, it'd be under again here for me.
Mally Mal leaning under in this one, and Mally Mal also telling us that Gokster was leaning over in the Vegas game, but he leans under with me as well, which I'll probably be on a bunch of these unders, and especially live if something happened in the first period. But I'll decide at the end what official plays I want to give. Let me see. And Wager Detective also leaning under in the Vegas game.
BJ mentioning Hurricanes as well, money line. I'll mention quickly the market moves in that. I don't, and Jimmy doesn't, and I guess I'm learning from him. He doesn't mention the money line or market moves in general. Sometimes the total, but money line here, I'll quickly say 67% of the bets, 55% of the money on the Hurricanes there. And we have a movement, let me tell you right now here.
Pretty big move to Carolina. Yep.
Yeah, -140 to -160.
Yeah.
There. So, yeah, I agree with you, BJ. It'd probably be the move for me as well.
Yeah, I mean, in retrospect, it might, if Carolina has it all together in this one, it's just tough to fade New Jersey with how well they're playing right now, and maybe who knows what's causing that move. All right, let's move on. Next game on the card, Florida Columbus. Here it is. Again, unfortunately, tragedies do matter when it comes to handicapping games, and this is the first home game in Columbus since the death of Johnny Gaudreau. So it's going to be a very emotionally charged game. Florida on a back-to-back. They beat Boston yesterday. They lost their other 2 games. A little bit their deep as hell team, but no Tkachuk and no Barkov. So those guys are both going to be out. And my favorite play is Columbus team total over, which is 2.5 at like -140 or so. But I also like them full game at the dog line of +140. I'm not sure where it is right now. And probably the first period as well. Let's see where the line is. Yeah, it's right around 135 or so still. So not much movement as far as the side is concerned. The total, let me see. Yeah, not much movement there. 6.5 juice to the under. But we'll start with first official play on the card, and that will be Columbus Blue Jackets team total over 2.5 -137 to Pinnacle.
That makes sense.
Anyone in the comments section saying anything, Jose Bouquett?
Yeah, we have a Columbus +1.5 from Jermaine there. I mean, I like that look as well, and I told you guys off the top, I'm on Columbus here as well. +135 is what I got here. I'm looking. I went to go look at the puck line number here as well, and I actually there it is. Puck line for me is -180, so I can't bet that. But yeah, I like both. I think they win this game outright. I'm a little worried. Off the top, I saw people talking first period because they're obviously going to show a tribute video right before the game starts. It'll make everyone cry, I'm sure. And I was wondering if Tkachuk was going to play in this game because he was apparently good buddies with
No, I read that he's definitely out for a couple of weeks.
So yeah, I was worried about that aspect, and I was like, maybe he'll play better because of buddy, but he's not going to play. So yeah, I like Columbus here. I think they win.
When you said the Columbus puck line, you're talking about the plus 1.5. I was thinking that minus 1.5 is what you might be.
Oh
looking
yeah,
for.
no, he said plus 1.5 here, but I mean minus 1.5. What you'll get plus 300? What?
Pinnacle plus 321, and we will make that one an official pick. Columbus minus 1. I should probably do minus 1 though, but let me see.
Nah, Pete, you've got gigantic balls. They drip into the water when you poo. We know.
I do.
Pete.
I do. You know, people are always like, "You got no balls." I'm like, pretty big. All right, I'll take.
Have you seen me take Columbus plus 1 or minus 1.5? Those are big balls right there.
Yeah. Now, you know what? I'm just going to play it a little bit safe. I will take the minus 1, not 1.5, just in case. Because if it goes to overtime and they win in overtime, then I'm going to feel really annoyed. So I'll calculate a line here, but I'm going to take Columbus minus 1 at plus money as a second pick. Definitely team total over 2.5, minus 137. Current line of Pinnacle. I'll calculate the minus 1 a little bit later, and we'll move on. Let's see what people are saying in the comment section, if anything. Let's see. Nutflush Allen says, Pete, you bet the team total over with the sprinkle money line. Yeah, and in fact, Nutflush Allen, that's exactly what I did. My big bet on this one was a team total over, and I chucked a little bit on the money line as well. But the big one is the team total over. Let's see. Comments here. Wager Detective says Panthers 15-5 last 20 against Columbus. Yeah, that's because the Panthers have been awesome and Columbus has sucked ass for a while. But this is a special case. And again, Panthers have some injuries. They're still deep as hell, but those are two big guys who are out right now. Let's see.
Yeah. And you know, Pete, I've bet against the Panthers 3 times now. This will be my 3rd time. I bet against them opening night against the Bruins. I bet against them yesterday against the Bruins again. And here we are again, going to be bet against the Panthers. So I'm 0-2. Let's fucking roll. And I'm rolling with you, Pete, by the way. I'm going to eat the juice minus 145 for me on the team total as well. Here we are.
Oh, yeah. Uh-oh. Huh?
Minus 145. I would consider that to be an underdog. Where I come from, that's what we call a dog line. I tell my friends, I'm like, yeah, I'm taking Columbus team total over 2.5 at a dog line. This is great. All right, Jose Bouquett. Next game on the card, Minnesota, St. Louis. I was leading St. Louis as well. On the overnight line, they were an actual dog, like plus 105 or so. Now they flipped to be a small favorite. Mr. Gogster likes St. Louis here. And St. Louis, again, retooled in the offseason. Sometimes that pays dividends. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it pays dividends to start, and then teams shit the bed the rest of the year, or sometimes the opposite happens. St. Louis so far has been good. They won 2 out of 3 on the road, and the main issue for them last year, they were winning games with their new coach, but they had offensive issues, and their offensive production so far seems to be significantly improved. So now they're back here at home. Minnesota, they lost 2 of 3, both their losses in OT, so, they might be a little bit salty here. I don't really like betting against that. St. Louis, their offense seems to be better. Again, Brandon Saad is coming back, so maybe this is another one where St. Louis is worth a shot, but the team total over is worth a better shot. And who's supposed to be in? I believe it's Fleury who's supposed to be in for or Gogster indicated that was Fleury. I'm seeing Gustafson unconfirmed. If anyone can let's see what Roto Wire says. Trying to figure out who's going to be.
I'll look
in
at Daily Faceoff as well here. We obviously trust Gogster here, but let's find out.
Well, I look at Daily Faceoff also. So, I look at Daily Faceoff too. So we're looking at the same shit here.
Yeah. So I don't know Bennington obviously, but you just said Gustafson. I'm concerned.
Yeah. Let me see. Let's see if I don't know who's the most trustworthy. Let's see.
We need you guys to get some sources inside of these teams and start sharing the information with us, please and thank you.
Yeah, I'm seeing Gustafson expected in on Roto Wire. I don't know where Gogi got Fleury. I mean, Fleury started the second game, so I don't know if they're going to switch him off. But I'd be leaning St. Louis here. Not sure if I want to pull the trigger on it. The team total is intriguing as well because St. Louis is definitely scoring right now, better than they were before, and it should be just a 2.5 minus 141. Another underdog line for an over 2.5 NHL team total. So I'm really liking that one. St. Louis. Let's see what the comment section has to say.
Our guy Wager Detective likes the under in this game, under 6.
Yeah, let's see. Wager Detective, give me Minnesota here. No study. Okay, well, he's acknowledging that it's based on nothing. No, I'm kidding around. Yeah, I mean, I don't love fading Minnesota, especially like, there you go. Jermaine, 34, St. Louis money line here. Wager Detective likes the under. Robert Franklin draw plus 315.
By the way, shout out to Wager Detective. He posts all of his action on Twitter, and he posts like the tickets and stuff on Twitter. Respect people that post their tickets on Twitter like that. So shout out to you, Wager.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna pass on this one for now, but definitely leaning St. Louis and leaning St. Louis team total over. All right. Next game on the card. Here we go. Seattle, Nashville. Once again, we talked about this in the Gogi segment. Nashville, huge additions. They didn't retool. They added studs and then added a layer underneath them, right? A lot of teams like add a stud, and then but the Nashville added the stud layer and then the support layer. So high expectations for Nashville this year. Stamkos and Marchessault in the lineup for Nashville. They lost their first 2 games though, and the question is, what's going on with them? I mean, maybe they're a little bit complacent. They don't have that much urgency to start the year. Now they're going up against Seattle, who a hard team to get a read on as of now. They've got some nice pieces, but again, probably mediocre at best year for them. More likely to be in the bottom half, maybe bottom third of the NHL. They've lost 2 out of their first 3 games. Big favorite line for Nashville. Mr. Gokster likes Nashville to bounce back, and he bet them. He parlayed them with over 4.5, and he's a little bit worried that maybe Nashville won't score enough to get it over. So Seattle won't score enough to get it over. So maybe the Nashville team total over is worth a look, although that will be 3.5. And they, I don't know. The question is just, should we be timing a Nashville bounce back or not? I mean, they did put up 3 against Dallas, and Dallas has a strong defense, and they went into Detroit and just absolutely, with Saros making his return, and got shut out. So maybe we don't want to, look too much into the first 2 games. Dallas, a very strong team. So, losing at home as a dog by 1 to Dallas is maybe forgivable. And then you go on the road for your second game and you get shut out early in the season. So maybe don't overreact. It's a great spot for Nashville. That's what I'm thinking more and more. Let's see what the comment section has to say. Robert Franklin likes Nashville money line. Shout out to Wine Time Sports. Let's see. Fernando Mendoza likes Forsberg anytime goal plus 130 and the under 6. Wager Detective, Nashville in this spot. Don't like the juice though. Yeah, that's the rub, isn't it? Isn't it, Jose Bouquett?
Yeah, and I think you love this line though, Pete. This is right up your alley here.
I do. And it has moved even further in Nashville's favor. It's now up to 189, like 190 or so at Pinnacle. Team total is 3.5 plus 104 at Pinnacle. So at the books where you can buy half points or create your own half point buy on team totals, maybe taking Nashville over 3 as a big favorite might be a tempting thing to do. Yeah, it does feel like Nashville bounces back here because it's obvious that they've just had they've gotten smacked in the face, one would hope, from the first few games, right, Jose Bouquett?
Yeah, I've heard a lot of Nashville hype. I don't know much about them. I obviously don't follow hockey too much, but I would lean Nashville here.
Well, they just added so many studs in the so many big pieces in the offseason. Saros should be good. And Seattle, they're a scrappy team. Yeah, let's see who's starting. Decord is unconfirmed for Seattle, but he gave up a bunch of goals. All right, I'll take Nashville -1. I'll take a shot with it. They should be able to get this done. They should come in and finally be like, all right, we don't suck. Saros should be okay. And let's see the Nashville line. I'm going to calculate this. What would it be? Nashville -1 at Pinnacle. Oof, yeah, it's just a little tough there. -127. or 123. What are people in the comment section saying Jose Bouquett?
Kelly and Truth Teller both like Nashville. Truth Teller saying generally a fade team. Seattle is. I should say he's saying the whole city actually, which is funny. Nashville -1.5. Robert Franklin, Nashville -1. Nice to see you. Top set. Justin McKelvey. Wine time all in here. Forsberg, anytime goal scorer, +130 for Fernando Mendoza there as well. And by the way, Kelly likes overtime in Minnesota, St. Louis as well. Good luck with that one, Kelly.
Heritage has -121 for Nashville -1. So I will, I'll take that one. Nashville -1, -121 at Heritage right now. And let me see. And we'll make that an official play. We'll hold off on the team total because they might, they might win it 2-zip, clamp down on defense. Saros might pitch a shutout, and Nashville wins it 2-zip or even 3-zip. So I'll just take Nashville -1 to bounce back, -121 at Heritage. I should probably check Bet Online to see if I can get a better, slightly better, few cents of better line. Anyone
BJ
saying
asking?
Go ahead.
BJ asking real quick what the market is for the money line in this game. I'll tell you right now. And again, if you guys want any market analysis in these games, just let me know. Jimmy doesn't do it very often. He just says he doesn't like the markets, or he doesn't feel like they tell all the story. But I'll mention them if you guys want them here. 87% of the bets, 71% of the money on the Nashville Predators there. And for the money line movements here, we've gone from -155, -182 now at Bet Online. We had a 20-cent jump from -160 to -182 about 10 minutes ago, 13 minutes ago-ish.
Yeah. One thing I can tell you about NHL, I don't know the extent to which it's going on right now, but there has been in the past market manipulation for the NHL. Not that, that big syndicates would use their strategies to get the lines moved in ways that they wanted it to get moved. So a lot of the early moves, some of the early moves in NHL historically were misdirection. Let's see what people are saying. Mally Mal says Seattle only a team to consider at home. Maine says Kraken 2-2 last 4 in Nashville. Yeah, I don't really love doing this, but it's just Nashville has got to be salty here. And you got a salty team at home, Saros in goal against a beatable team. I'll take a shot with it. Jermaine likes Kraken money line depending on who's in goal. Kelly McGinnis has Grubauer expected. Yeah, I expected at RotoWire there. That's right. The cord at Daily Faceoff. I think this Daily Faceoff is maybe something that we shouldn't check anymore. Grubauer expected.
We're about to find out today, I guess, huh?
Yeah, I think we already know the answer. All right. Even with Grubauer, I mean, they lost. They lost both of Grubauer. All right, I'm taking a shot with Nashville -1, and actually, Bet Online has -118. So the official line is going to be Nashville -1, -118 at Bet Online. We'll see how it turns off. And now let's move on. Next game, San Jose, Dallas, biggest favorite on the card. Dallas, a massive favorite. Obviously, it's understandable why. Dallas absolutely rolling. They won their first 3. Last 2 games, both shutouts with different goalies. And that is not a huge shock because Dallas has a very strong defensive setup with their players. So both 2 different goalies getting a shutout consecutively is not a huge shock. And then on the other side, San Jose, 0-2 so far, both home games. This is their first road game. So you got your classic NHL massive favorite situation, which early in the season, I'm not going to bet into, but it's very, very tempting. Dallas is, it doesn't feel like it's that point in the season where a team like Dallas is going to be overlooking a team like San Jose. That might happen, 50 games into the season. But first week of the season, first 2 weeks of the season, that's something that I'm guarding against less. And I don't think that the early season results for San Jose are in any way illusory. Pretty crappy team right there. Huge favorite line for Dallas. First line I saw was like around 350. I'm assuming it's gotten bet up even further. And it has. -380 now at Pinnacle. Massive line for Dallas here. Maybe look at team totals, but I guess I'm just going to pass on this one. Anyone saying anything in the comment section, Jose Bouquett?
You're just fighting your demons here not to take Dallas money line,
No, Dallas -1 is what I'm fighting to not take. Jose Bouquet.
Huh.
Money line? You crazy?
What line is that at? -250?
Now it looks like it's gone back down a little bit, though, at Pinnacle. Dropped down to -340 or so. That's interesting. Let's see. The line is, it would be like, the Dallas -1 line at Pinnacle right now would be, let me do my calculation here, -248.
Well, there you go. There you go, Pete. Easy money. Easy money there. Nutflush kind of indicating, don't worry, Nutflush, I'm not taking the money line here, but indicating if you are going to take San Jose, just take that team total.
Team total, because I'm looking at the San Jose team total right now. It's 2.5 at Pinnacle. Over is +140. Under is -160. And again, Dallas is, a very powerful defensive team. Is San Jose a team that is, relatively capable of getting 3 goals on the road at Dallas? It doesn't seem that way. Justin McElvey, Stars -1.5, -139 in pocket. Wager Detective tempting to take Sharks team total over. Yeah, I mean, 2 shutouts in a row for Dallas. Betting the next team's team total under is probably not something historically you want to do, although I haven't looked at the database. Let's see. Yeah, Nutflush 16 saying those +140s historically have been good to me. And the -160s have historically been awful for me. So, Nutflush Allen, I think I know what I'm going to do is pass. Pass on this one. All right, you ready to move on, Jose?
Yeah, 2 more games left.
Yeah, next one is an interesting one. Tell us what you think, people in the comments section. Chicago against Calgary. Both these teams have had nice starts to the year. Chicago's only, won 1 of their 3 games, but they were a huge dog in each one. They got a +300 dog win, and the other 2 games were close as huge dogs. So Chicago has clearly been undervalued to start the year, which is not a shock, not necessarily that they're going to be a good team going forward, but that they are not nearly as bad as their early season valuations have put them on. Calgary, though, also starting the year great. They've won their first 3 games, 2 road wins as a big dog. They got a home win as a small fave. So Calgary is definitely rolling right now as well. I guess I got to pass on this one as far as the side is concerned because I don't really want to fade either of these teams right now at the price. I did have a lean to the over to start. Not sure if I want to pull the trigger on that one, though. But interesting and not much mark. Well, about a 10-cent move in favor of Chicago. Not a surprise that the line. Some money would come in on Chicago. We'll see where it closes. But I was leaning over 6 when it was -115. Now it's up to 6.5, just to the under. So a pretty solid move to the over, at least as of right now. Anything you're seeing, Jose Bouquett?
No, nothing in particular. I'll just quickly mention here. Of all the games, this one is the sharp action play of the day, I guess. 13% of the bets on the Blackhawks, but 81% of the money on the Blackhawks in this game. So just, make that note. 87% of the bets, 89% of the money on the over in this game. If you're wondering, has that line moved because of that sharp action on the Blackhawks? It went from -160 to -147 now at BetOnline, Calgary. So if I had to play one underdog, and this is obviously purely based on market, it's probably the Chicago Blackhawks today.
Yeah. Yep. And man, would I love to take Blackhawks +2.5, -374, but I'm not going to. But I would love to, Jose Bouquett.
I know you would, Pete. That's a winner. That's what it sounds
like. If I did that, guaranteed final score 4-1. My overbet loses as well.
It would be a little funny. I'm not going to.
All right. I'm going to pass on this one. Free play. I'd chuck it on Chicago and chuck it on the over, but I'm going to pass. And the Chicago team total over is tempting as well. Another 2.5 -135 or so, leaning that way, but I'm going to pass. But yeah, Chicago definitely playing with some life to them. So let's see. Jermaine 34, I'll take Blackhawks money line. Yeah, and they've just clearly been undervalued in the small sample of games so far this year. Let's see. Wager Detective says, how do we know that's sharp money? Because if Action Network tells us it's sharp money, it's sharp money. All right? That's how we know. No, I have no idea. How do we know? That's a good question, Jose Bouquett. How do we know it's sharp money?
I just tend to believe that if you're making big bets, then you're sharp money. You are a sharper capper. That is what my explanation is, Wager Detective, if you're wondering. I don't think that Joey Dickhead from down the street is putting $5,000 on a hockey game. And we only have, obviously, I'll tell you guys right now, if that's totals wise, we only have 3,000 tickets on the total. So imagine what one like $2,000 bet will do for the total. For the side here, 3,700 tickets in. It's still early, but if you're putting big bets on a hockey game this early, I'm going to assume you're a sharper bettor.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like pharmaceutical ads on TV. I trust them. I just trust them. If I see an ad that says, ask my doctor about Rybelsus, I'm going to ask my doctor about Rybelsus, and I'm not going to question it.
Yeah.
I don't question Action Network's Sharp Money Report.
Yeah, and again, like if you saw a guy at the casino betting $4,000 a game, and you probably listen to him, at least hear what he has to say.
Kelly McKinnon says Drake bet millions. I don't consider him sharp. Yeah, I mean the sharp money really comes. Oh no, to answer the question, because we're doing a serious show here. If you really want to know where the sharp money is likely to be coming from, get one of the odd services that tells you when the limits get increased. And when the limits get increased, if there's a big bet that comes in right then or right after that, that is very likely to be sharp money.
Yeah, and by the way, yeah, Drake bets millions, but we all know Drake. We all know what Drake is at this point. And I still don't believe any of his bets are real, which is funny. Yeah, I was about to say, Steve, I don't believe those bets. They're real bets. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Kelly McGinnis saying over 6. Also have Calgary -1.5. They score in the third period and it comes in bunches. Yeah, my numbers like over at 6, and it has gotten bet up a little bit. And I could take over 6 -121. I really kind of like that. Maybe I'll add at the end of the show, but as of right now, let's move on. Last game on the card. This one, who knows? Everyone in the comments section, you tell us. Philly, Edmonton, right? Edmonton, of course, went to the Stanley Cup final last year. A lot of prognosticators had them as the top-rated team to start the year in the NHL. 0-3 so far this year, all as a huge home favorite. Got outscored 15-3 in all those games, right? And you can say, well, it's probably because Connor McDavid's injured. No, he's been playing. Are there any significant injuries for Edmonton that I'm not aware of? I don't think so. They got all their guys in there. It just ain't really happening for them. So, I'm not sure what to make of Edmonton going forward. But it's one thing if you're just like a little sleepy and you lose, you're expected to win the Stanley Cup and you go 2-4 in your first week or whatever, but to get blown the fuck out and blown the fuck out once, fine. But 3 games in a row at home, comment section, you tell me. Edmonton, when I first saw it, about -215 or so. Let's see if the line has moved. Yeah, wow. Yeah, look at that. Massive line move in favor of Philly. I mean, I definitely have not bet this game, so I personally missed that move. Philly, they've split their 2 road games so far, both as underdogs. Hard for me to personally get a read on Philly as of right now. They got Coach Torts. So they're a team that, in general, I'm looking to bet on them as a dog and fade them as a favorite. A dog on the road and fade them as a home favorite. So they're a team that is a little bit unpredictable, a little bit capricious. And, but not an auto fade team, a team that can get you a win or a good performance here and there. Their wins and their good performances will come. And now Edmonton, what the hell is going on with this friggin' team? Jose Bouquett, can you look at the market and tell us anything about this?
Yeah, it's going down. It's kind of another appealing dog, honestly, Pete. -215 opener down to -187, -190-ish. 81% of the bets, 79% of the money on the Oilers here. It kind of feels like last year, right? Mike in the chat saying it kind of feels like last year. What's up, Pete?
Top set saying Bruno Mars betting NHL. Yeah. I want to know dumb celebrity money. I want that column. I want the Drake / Bruno Mars / what's that boxer? Floyd Mayweather money column.
That would be a great time to.
That'd be a great column to have.
I'd love
all
to
the celebrities sign up their accounts, and you can just see what they bet.
That's good money. That's the future. And you
Bruno
know,
Mars.
Odd Bunch is another good. He wants to know what Otani's on. So I wonder what my guy Ipe is doing right now as well.
I love how we're just like, oh, Bruno Mars sucks again. How do we know? Maybe Bruno Mars is a fine capper.
Maybe he's at 60%.
Not 60%. I'm just saying maybe he's like 53.1%. It's like, oh, look at that. Bruno Mars has a slight edge in NHL. Who knew? You know what I'm saying?
Pete, what would be the best celebrity, the celebrity you would most want to have just an edge in just, whatever sport, like you just watching, you're just saying, oh, look, there's Brad Pitt. I know he's got a really good edge in, cricket betting, he's really good at it. I don't know what it is.
I think it'd be cool if Trump gave sports picks. That'd be funny as hell.
That would be funny.
Yeah, I have no idea. But I guarantee you, who I wouldn't tail is fucking professional poker players. You know what I mean? Whoever fucking Dave Negreanu is on. That
Phil Hellmuth not going to do it for you?
Jeez, you kidding me? All those poker players, they're like, oh, yeah, he was a genius poker player, but he went broke betting on sports, Supposedly that's what happened to Stu Unger, a bunch of them. But, all right. As far as this game is concerned, there's no way I'm touching this. In the comments section, did any of you bet this game? Because I want to know. Because I want to root for something.
I did see someone being tempted by the Flyers here, and I kind of agree. I mean, didn't the Oilers did this exact same thing last year? They sucked in the beginning part of the season. Everyone freaked out for about a month. And everyone, I guess, then realizes hockey is a very long season and a very long sport. So, they just went out there and turned the season around eventually. But I could easily see Edmonton turning it around at some point and losing tonight. So,
all right, let's see. Mally Mal, Philly money line and team total over. Keep fading Edmonton and the Avs. Yeah, that's the big question. The beginning of the season, how long to ride the train? As soon as you recognize that the train is going. Let's see. Comments. Robert Franklin likes under 6.5 and Philly money line. Let's see. Anyone has anything to say about this game?
So you're not moving on this one?
No way. Fernando Mendoza likes under. Maybe the under is. Yeah, I mean, Edmonton's got it. I mean, they've gotten scotched. 15 goals in 3 games. They got that. That might be the play of the day, though. They gotta at least not give up goals here. If they lose, fine. They gotta hold them down.
I'll mention quickly, Talk Sports with JT had a great debut on NFL Pub Hub. Shout out to you for joining us here. And he was on Vancouver, plus 110 there. And Nutflush saying, Pete, that's where I get some of my capping from, listening to what poker players are babbling about at the table.
Oh, man. Yeah, Nutflush Allen got so much of it figured out. Wow. So now we got Ron Crawford's play of the day and JT. What Talk Sports with JT? Both like in Vancouver?
Both like in Vancouver. Yeah.
Wow. All right. I'm not gonna try to get a cheap unit and add that to my official plays, but I might tail that. That is
Pete, I'm all about the cheap units and taking other people's plays. I gladly, like Sharpie's going to join us for baseball. Sharpie saying Garrett Cole over 16.5 outs. I'm okay with adding that on my record and putting that cheap unit out there and putting that money in my pocket.
No. Oh, when I say cheap units, I don't mean big favorites. I mean like picks that I didn't give myself.
No, that's what I mean as well. Of course, yeah.
Okay.
Whatever it is, whatever pick it has to be. If it puts a unit in my pocket, I'll praise that person, thank them, and add that onto my record. God damn it, we appreciate those.
Nutflush 16 asking a gambling show if they want a little NFL nugget. Nah, keep it to yourself. Now, of course, we wanted Nutflush Allen. Yes, my God, whatever you got. What little NFL nugget do you have? Nutflush Allen. Hell yeah. Let us know, please. I'm begging you, man. I'm begging you. What's the little NFL nugget?
Oh, man. By the way, breaking news, Russell Wilson going to play this week officially.
Maybe that's the nugget.
Yeah, he's going to start. He's going to start against the Jets Sunday Night Football.
Oh my God. What's the line on that game?
That's a good question right now. I'd be a little surprised if they still had him on the boards.
They're on the road. I'm seeing like 1.5.
Jets favored?
Yeah.
Well, with Russell Wilson, don't be surprised if it's 2.5 to 3 next.
I mean, Russell Wilson, if he has a good game, then he'll be definitely fade material after that. I just can't tell exactly when he'll be fade material. Man, that's an interesting situation. My God. Let's see. Not Flush 16. Please give us the. I don't want to get off topic. Yes, whatever nuggets you have, big or little, NFL or any other sport. Yes, we want them. Thank you so much, Not Flush Allen, for all your nuggets. Joe Dewigger liking Jets -1. Steve Fernbach says Jets going to demolish him. Fields getting like once. Yeah, I mean, my first thought was, of course, you take the Jets in that situation.
Isn't it funny how our first thoughts are always, well, typically, at least for me, and Jimmy has mentioned this as well, first thoughts are always like wrong. So funny.
Really?
Yeah, Jimmy is like they said all the time, like that first bet you see on the board that you like, that's the one, that's the word. Like you don't bet that one because that one loses. I'm like, huh. I mean,
You're saying Wilson's not that bad. Yeah, but I think he's very overvalued in the market, and that there will be a lot of attention paid to it. Probably it'll cause the line to go a little sideways. I don't know though. All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you Pete. Go ahead. I was just going to mention how I almost got a hernia betting the Jets this week, so no more for me.
All right. I think I'll just keep it. There's a whole bunch of leans I have for NHL, but I'll just keep my official plays at these three. Columbus, team total over 2.5, -137 Pinnacle. Columbus -1 at big plus odds. I haven't calculated the odds. I'll calculate at the end of the show, and whatever I put in my spreadsheet, you'll just trust. And then Nashville, -1, -118, bet online. I have a whole bunch of leans that I don't think I will give. Most of the leans are on totals. Again, my leans on in NHL for today's card, definitely under 6.5 in Vancouver, Tampa Bay. Vancouver, probably a good bet or great bet. JT and Ron Crawford both like in Vancouver, with Vasilevsky playing well, and Vancouver, off of losses and usually a defense-oriented team. I can't explain why the line is so high, but my lean on that one, a strong one to the under 6.5. Lean under in Vegas, Washington at 6. NJ Carolina, pass on that one. The Florida Columbus game, nothing there. I guess I would have to say lean over, team total over for St. Louis against Minnesota, and lean over for sure, over 6, -120 or so in Blackhawks and Calgary. I'll just make 3 plays official as of right now. Jose Bouquett, what are we going to do now?
We're talking some college football now. Dabby Cab will be joining. Speaking of, you say his name and he appears. Dabby Cab breaking down college football with you, Pete, and then we'll talk about MLB, Sharpie. I mean, I love when Sharpie comes on the program because I just sit back and I just let Sharpie cook. I just say, here, Sharpie, here's the barbecue. You're the grill master. You take over here. I love when Sharpie joins us. So, yes, let's bring on our old friend, Mr. Dabby Cab, joining the program. Dabby, hello. How are you? Nice to see you.
Yo, what up, boys? Got some big games this week, man. Big games. I almost sent you 4 games, Pete, but I kept it at 2 for us.
Oh, you can throw me whatever. At this point in the season, you can throw me as many games you want. Just let me know.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, assuming that it's okay with the powers that be that we cover that many games.
Yes, they are. Yes.
Okay, so we're going to cover the 3 games tonight, and then we're going to talk about 2 games, Miami, Louisville, and then, of course, Georgia, Texas. But let's get to the 3 games tonight. Very interesting stuff. All kind of weird, crappy teams involved in all the games. Actually, worse than crappy. Bottom of the barrel. I think out of the worst 10 college football teams in the nation, 4 of them are playing tonight. South Alabama, Troy is the first game. Troy's been bad this year, both straight up in ATS, right? South Alabama also losing, but they seem a lot less bad. They have an offense that can be productive. And, Troy has an issue at quarterback, but the guy, Kilcrease, is pretty much, I'm not seeing a big statistical drop off to him. South Alabama, though, they have the quarterback who can be very productive, Gio Lopez. He is dealing with a nagging toe injury where he's probable, but seems to play through it, and it's not really affecting his production. So Alabama was a big favorite. My first thought was maybe South Alabama minus 11 would be worth a shot, but that I didn't pull the trigger on it, and now it's up to like 13.5. Which I understand. It's just like, Troy is just like, that's a lot of points to be giving to a team that you never exactly know when they're going to mail it in or come to play a midweek game. Maybe Troy comes in and leaves it all on the field. Yeah. Anything on this one, Gabby? I think I'm going to pass.
Yeah. Look, you said a lot of it. If I had to bet it, I'd probably take South Alabama. Maybe you take a shot on the over here. It's just, you're looking at a Troy team that has put up 17 points against Texas State, 9 points against ULM, and then South Alabama the last 2 weeks. I know one of them was against LSU, right? So we'll give them a pass for that. But only putting up 16 against Arkansas State's a little questionable. But go back to the beginning of the year.
Dabby, they did move the ball okay in that one. They just kind of didn't convert,
Okay, so up and down the field just didn't convert. And then I was going to say,
it wasn't as bad as the final score would indicate.
Gotcha. Well, then, yeah, it would be South Alabama or nothing for me. Troy's an awful football team. I don't know any other way to say it. Troy is the Purdue of the smaller schools this year. So it's either South Alabama or a pass for me. I don't have, we got MLB, we got NHL, we got so much stuff. There's no reason to bet this, in my opinion.
Yeah. Although, wait, did it come back down? I saw it up to 13.5. What's the line right now? Did it come back down to 11? What's the line right now?
I can pull it up.
Yeah, pull up this line. At the start of the show, I thought I was seeing like 13.5.
It was 13.5 last I looked. It did come back down to 11. So, yeah, now you can get 11.
Wow.
Pinnacle's got
wow. Wow, look at that. Back down. It's going to be a pass for me. Obviously, South Alabama is a legitimately significantly better team, but just Troy has been so bad this year. Again, you never know when they're maybe going to outperform how they've been doing. And, maybe Gio Lopez has a bit of a bigger injury than it's being reported. So I don't know. And then South Alabama, they're not a very disciplined team. They lead the Sun Belt with penalties, so if they can fix that, then they should roll, but they do kill themselves with penalties. So it's going to be a pass for me. Let's see if anyone in the comments section has anything to say about this. Markel, I'm on Troy first half money line. I love pain.
There you go.
Okay. Kong's Clips, South Alabama smash spot. All right. Well, it's back down to 11 now. Yeah, I was thinking free play. I would have put it on South Alabama. BT saying someone stopped me from taking Troy. Yeah, I'm not going to stop you. It's a tough one. I'm going to pass. Okay, you ready to move on, Davy Cab?
Yeah, I was about to say, Pete, not going to stop you. And you thought it didn't get worse than Troy, South Alabama. Wait till you see our next game.
Kennesaw and Middle Tennessee and Kennesaw and Middle Tennessee. Of course, Kennesaw, this is their first, they were an FCS team. Now they've moved up and they have yet to get a win. And they might be the single worst FBS team in the nation right now. 0-5 straight up, terrible ATS, just getting blown the F out every game. And, most of their ATS losses, if not all of them, have been by big margins. Then you have Middle Tennessee, who's also been bad straight up in the ATS, but they're clearly at least a half notch, if not a full notch or a notch and a half better than Kennesaw. And Middle Tennessee is also coming off an embarrassing loss, right? Short week, embarrassing loss to Middle Tennessee. Now, Middle Tennessee had won their last game. Then I'd be looking real hard at Kennesaw first quarter or first half, right? Because Kennesaw does have a lot more rest. They have been good in the early parts of their games. They've gotten blown out in the second half of their games, but they've been more competitive in their first halves. But off of that bad loss on a short week at home, I definitely can't fade Middle Tennessee State with Kennesaw. My lean on this one was to the under, and the line has gotten bet down. It was like 51.5 early. Now it's all the way down to 50 or so. Both these teams are kind of chintzy offensively, although Kennesaw, of course, is also chintzy defensively. If you gave me a free play on it, I would still put it on the under, but I don't think I'm going to bet it or make it official. Davy Cab, what do you got on this one, if any?
I would never bet this game. Everybody knows that. Anybody that's followed me knows that this is, I would never have anything to do with this. I mean, what you said it, I guess Middle Tennessee can throw the ball a little bit.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that either of these teams can do is Middle Tennessee can throw the ball a little bit. So there's my analysis.
Yeah. And, if they weren't having such a shitty year themselves, then I'd be like, well, maybe they'll overlook them, but they've got one win on the year, So if there's ever going to be a time when Middle Tennessee is going to come and try to, prove how non-shitty they are, it'll be this game,
Right. That's true.
So they might run up the score here. All right, let's see if anyone in the comments section likes anything. Robert Franklin likes under 50. Yeah, I'm going to pass for this one. Pass on this one. Wager Detective says Middle Tennessee for the cover. Yeah, oh my God. It's down to 9, Dabby Cab.
I mean, I get it because Kennesaw's that bad, but
no, it's down to 9. It's money's come in. It was like 10.5 yesterday. Now it's down to 9.
Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah, still, I'm looking right now. They haven't played anybody within 10 points this whole season.
Yeah.
And it really hasn't been close. The closest they've got within 10 points was, what is that? University of Texas Martin? I don't even know who that is. I don't even know who it is. UTM? What is that? University Tennessee Martin?
Who the fuck is that?
That's
all I know is they played 6 basketball games in the OVC, but yeah.
And they still lost by 11 points.
Actually, you know what? I swear to God, I live bet that game. I bet UT Martin at the half. I did. I swear to God. I think it was tied at the half. Yep, it was tied at the half, and I pounded UT Martin at the half, and I cashed with it. Absolutely.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, this is just I guess the opposite is true as well, though. Kennesaw, if there's ever going to be a game we're going to be able to get up for, they do have long rest, 6 more days of rest. Going to be a pass for me. It'll be very interesting for me to see where this line closes and how the game turns out. A bunch of people in the comments section took the under. Very nice. JW says Kennesaw starting a new quarterback, which is the unknown variable for that game. Yeah. Kennesaw has, extra rest going against a shitty team on short rest. So if ever there's going to be a spot for them to do their best, it's here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then Kong's Clips with the opposite side of that coin is Tennessee is really, really – oh, no, Tennessee is really, really bad. Yeah. Well, yes, relative to, like, the rest of college football. But they're clearly – they've got, as you said, Dabby, they've got – their quarterback, he's not going to repeat what he did in his last game, but they have the capability of putting up explosive offensive numbers in the passing game against super shitty teams,
Yep. They do have that.
All right. I hope one way or another, everyone in the comments section cashes on this game, however you bet it. I'm going to pass. Next game, I will tell you, last game on the Tuesday card. I'll admit I bet it. I did bet it. I did, Dabby Cap.
Okay.
Louisiana Tech, New Mexico State. Louisiana Tech is the team that rolled Middle Tennessee last week. And, now they're on a short week. They're going up against New Mexico State, a bad team. Not like Kennesaw State, but a shitty team. But, New Mexico State played Liberty close earlier this year. Now, Liberty is not what they were last year, but that's still a nice little result. They played their rivalry game against New Mexico, and it was relatively close. The Aggies have a bad passing game, so when they get down, they are incapable of coming back. But they have a nice running game that can keep them in games. And unless they start to get blown out, I like them to keep the game close to the end. So it could be a loser, but I did bet New Mexico State plus 10.5 against Louisiana Tech. Louisiana Tech, a huge win after 3 losses. And it could be, in retrospect, they could get blown out by 25, right, by 40. But I took New Mexico State plus 10.5. What do you think, Dabby?
Yeah, this is at least a better game than the last one we were talking about, even though, New Mexico State hasn't been winning. But, you touched on it. New Mexico State, the only thing is, they don't have a quarterback that's completing more than 44% of their passes. Yeah. That's insane to me. I don't know if I've ever seen a number that low. And all the times I've looked
at it.
Yeah. It's bad. Here, 40.8% with 3 touchdowns and 3 interceptions is their top QB right now. So yeah, it is that bad. But I mean, I guess, if they're able to run the ball, they can keep this game within 10 points. So you got that going for you right there. I'm not betting it, but I would lean under, and I don't have a problem with the bet that you made right there.
And I'll make a play official. Yeah, and their defense is also very weak and probably will get weaker as the game goes on. But I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take New Mexico State first half. New Mexico State first half. I did bet that one, and I got 7. I'm going to see what I'd have to pay right now to get 7. But I'll add that one as an official play on New Mexico State. They're a shitty team, but they can run the ball. Not a great spot for Louisiana Tech, and I'll take New Mexico State first half as an official play. Let's see what people are. Wager Detective leaning slightly in Louisiana Tech. Robert Franklin liking the under in this one. And yeah, I'm going to shop around. While I shop around a little bit for a Louisiana Tech first half line, what are people in the comment section saying, if anything, Dabby Cab?
Let me go through here. Our guy Wager Detective said he would give a slight lean to Tech cover, but he said just slight lean. Nutflush is asking what number we can get on Kennesaw team total over. Nutflush, you want Kennesaw's team total? Come on, man. No, are you sure you meant Kennesaw, or did you mean the other Tennessee team that sucked in there? I'll look for you though in 1 second. Nutflush. Let's see, who else do we got in here? Not a ton on this one. The games we're going to next, though, I'm sure we'll get a ton of opinions on, because we got the big ones coming up here for you guys.
All right, well, let's move on. But I will tell you, I'll take the Heritage line. New Mexico State first half +7 -126. Current line Heritage. Pinnacle has 132. I'll take Heritage line first half +7 126. New Mexico State. We'll see how it turns out. All right, now we got 2 huge games on the card coming up this Saturday. Everyone in the comment section, let us know what you think. First game, Miami, Florida against Louisville. Miami, Florida, of course, is off a bye. They're undefeated, but just 3-3 ATS, and their last 2 games were very close. Both ATS losses as a double-digit favorite. Secondary looking a little bit falling the road. Of course, they have a great quarterback. I mean, they're a legitimately, elite team. Probably going to get a loss at some point during the year. And the last 2 games have been close. Going up against Louisville, and Louisville off 2 straight not so good ATS losses. I had Louisville first half against Virginia, and that one lost, of course. I had some of it on the money line, which pushed, but I had a -4, and that one lost. I was thought it was a buy low spot, a little bit on Louisville, sell high on Virginia, but Louisville couldn't get it done. Louisville still has, they're a scary team. So now they're a home dog here. Miami, Florida, though, coming off a bye, undefeated, road favorite. I don't even know what I would do if you gave me a free play right now. Line's about 4 in favor of Miami, Florida. Dabby Cab, what's your take on this one?
This is a big game with what I would say, look, I know Louisville and Miami, this isn't Georgia, Texas, or, Tennessee, Alabama. But if you look at Miami's schedule, I would say Syracuse, maybe Georgia Tech, because they've been playing decent football this year. But those are the toughest 2 teams they've got left beat. Georgia Tech and Syracuse on the whole rest of their schedule, right? Because Florida State ain't it. Duke's 5-1 right now, so they're playing all right. But they really don't have a big bad in their schedule, right? There's nobody left. So if I'm Miami, man, if I'm Cristobal and I'm in that locker room, I have this game circled, and I've had it circled, and it might be part of the reason why we almost lost to California, why Miami almost lost to Virginia Tech, because I've had this Louisville game circled. So I've already kind of given away where I'm at here. I took the 4 with Miami, even though, like you touched on, they haven't shown to be the number 6 team in the nation right now. They just flat out haven't. But in this spot, I think the ramifications for the season played towards Miami's favor. I think Miami comes out in this game ready to go. You got Cam Ward, arguably, it's either Ewers or Cam Ward, whoever you want to say is the best quarterback in the nation. They're 1-1 step by step. But this Miami team putting up 47.7 points per game right now. And then you look at Louisville, their last 3 games were against a little bit better competition, Notre Dame, SMU, and Virginia. They didn't break 30 in any of those 3 games. And you're talking about a Miami team that if you don't score in the 30s, you're not in the game, right? So I don't trust Miami's defense, but I do trust Miami to go out there and put up, 35, 40 points here against Louisville. And I just think as the game wears on, I think Miami wins this by a touchdown, maybe 10 points. But really, I see this as a 7-point game. So give me the Hurricanes here. I'm going to back Cam Ward, and I'm backing him on the thought that this is it. This is the game where we tell him, hey, win this, guys. And I'm not saying it's clear sailing because that would be terrible coaching, but I'm not the coach, so I can say that. Win this, and it's clear sailing. You see what I'm saying?
Yes. I hear you. All right, I hope you cash. I hope everyone friggin' cashes. I'm going to pass on this one. This is a crazy game, man. First of all, when the line opened, it was all over the place. I saw FanDuel at 3.5 and other places, like big places like Bally's at 6.5, right? Circa opened it at 3, right?
That's crazy.
That's crazy, right? So Circa opened it at 3, and then you got Miami. I mean, yeah, obviously they're off of a break and they've got a big offense, but they look vulnerable in their secondary now, and they don't start off games well. You know what I mean?
They don't. But then again, that also plays into the fact that when Cam Ward has to score, when that team has to score, they do. And that's
Sure.
so you don't want to be in that position. Like I said, the last 2 games have been ugly for Miami. I mean, arguably they lost that Virginia Tech game, depending on the call, right? At the very end of the game. And then Cal, they should have lost that. They were losing that game. They were getting beat. They weren't just losing. They were getting beat on both sides of the football, and they somehow came back and won. So for me, it's a coaching point. I got to say, guys, if you play even close to how you played against Cal or Virginia Tech, Louisville's going to run us off the field. So it's a coaching thing where I say, lock the fuck in for this game, go win, and let's go to the playoffs this year.
Yeah, no, I hear you. And of course, we always talk about it, but I'll say it again. The friggin' comment section is where the gold is in this show. And look at all this. Look at all this, Dabby Cap. Maybe the best way to go is over or Miami over, team total over. Jermaine, liking Miami, team total over. Kong's Clips, I've officially bet Louisville plus 4.5 and the money line. Not flush 16. I won't mess with the spread here. It's team total over City on Miami if you're playing here. Robert Franklin saying Miami, 8-1-1 to the over. Last 10, Louisville 7-3 to the over. Biggest game of the season, and not flush 16 is exactly JMU last week. Telling the story for yourself. There's no way, if you believe that, then no way the team total over for Miami doesn't get home. Take the spread out of the play. Yep. I mean, Louisville could even win the game outright, and the Miami team total goes over comfortably. Okay. Free bet right now, I would throw it on the Miami team total over. I might bet that with my actual money as well. Dabby Cab, liking Miami, minus the points. Other people, I'm sorry?
I'm on it. I took the 4.
And other people, including Khan's Clips, officially bet Louisville plus 4.5 and the money line. Nice to get 4.5. And Nasty Nate, Miami first half. Yeah, I mean, the problem is Miami's been a notoriously slow starter this year, so recently. So it's like you got to think that they're going to be aware of that and trying to fix it, or maybe they'll come out lethargic again. I don't know. But let's move on to Abby Cap. Next game on the card, Georgia, Texas. And this one, to my eye, is one of the classic, like, it's either super obvious and don't overthink it, or maybe it's a trap, right? Texas, like a 3.5-point favorite. Georgia, man, 5 straight ATS losses after the Clemson game. And you can't give a team like Georgia a pass for 5 bad ATS losses in a row. One are here, one there, sure. But they have been clearly overvalued week in and week out all year since the Clemson game. And then you got Texas, crushed Oklahoma last week, rolling ATS with their big spreads. And then when they had a single-digit spread against Michigan, beat them by 30 or 20 or however much it was. Ewers is rolling. I mean, he had a fine game in the last one, so he looks like he's going to be fine. Texas just playmakers everywhere, offensive line awesome, and I'm not exactly sure what to make of Georgia and their defense. I mean, based on like the names and the blue chip status of all those guys, they should be better. They got future NFL guys all over that defense, but they're not getting it done ATS wise, and it seems like Texas, minus the points, even 3.5, is the way to go. It's certainly the way to go based on how the season has gone ATS-wise for Georgia, because Georgia has underwhelmed has underperformed their market valuations every week. And you could write off, the Kentucky game, you could write off the Alabama game, but then the Mississippi State game every week, they're a great fade. Maybe again here. What do you think, Dabby?
I mean, this is the biggest game of the year since the Alabama-Georgia game, and arguably this is, a bigger game since Alabama lost that, game to Vanderbilt, and Texas is undefeated. Austin, Texas is going to be on fire. I mean, this is, I love these games. Some people, they like the Kennesaw and Middle Tennessee games. That's not me. I like Georgia, Texas. I like to see 50 NFL players on the field throughout the whole game, and that's almost every player we're going to see from both teams could play in the NFL here. This is what I like. This is, what gets me excited. So let me start with Texas here, right? Okay, so we go QB. Ewers is arguably the best QB in college football. I said that earlier when I brought up Cam Ward, right? I'd take Ewers over Cam Ward. But either way, he arguably the best, quarterback in college football. Then we look at wide receivers. Texas has the advantage at the receiver spot here. They have the fastest crew on the field. There's no question about that. So then we look at the O-line. Because of the injuries to Georgia's offensive line, because they've taken some big injuries this season, I give that advantage to Texas also. The one place on offense where I don't give Texas the advantage is in the backfield. They've been plagued by injuries for their running backs. But this is a made team. This is a Texas team that is no longer a building program, okay? We looked at them last year as a building program. We've looked at them constantly as a building program. They're not a building program anymore. They're built. All of that being said, I built up Texas right here. I talked all good about them. They're going against a Georgia team who everyone is calling overrated, and there's nothing wrong with that because they haven't covered the spread. That means they're overrated. That is literally what overrated means, right? They're overvalued week in, week out. But this is a Georgia team who knows if they lose this football game, they might not make the college football playoffs. Texas, on the other hand, they can afford a slip here against Georgia. It doesn't mean they want it, and doesn't mean they're not locked in. But Georgia cannot lose this football game. Okay, if Georgia loses this football game, college playoffs are basically out the window. They might get in as a 10-2 SEC team, but this is do or die. And personally, for me, do or die against Georgia is not somewhere where I like to bet. Okay, we looked at that Alabama game that Georgia lost. I still feel like I can't say I was on the right side because I lost my bet. But if Georgia doesn't fall down 28-0, they beat Bama there. They were sleepwalking in the first half of that football game. I don't know what the fuck they were doing. And I don't think they do that here against Texas. I can't get first half lines yet, but as soon as I'm able to take the plus points with Georgia in the first half, that's how I'm going to bet this game. I think that you've got to say, hey, guys, we can't sleepwalk through the first part of this game. I think, you look at Carson Beck. I talk about how good Ewers is. Carson Beck, for all the hate that he's gone, he has the ability to nullify Ewers being the best player on the field or the best quarterback on the field. Carson Beck has the ability to play that good also. He does. He has the ability. Georgia's got the running backs. As I talked about Georgia's offensive line, they're getting a little healthier on the offensive line. Defensively, I think it might be a push. The linebackers would be a push for me. The DBs, I'd probably go Georgia. This is a very close game. And what comes down to me to bet it is the fact that it's do or die for Georgia. You got the dogs with their back against the wall. It's the first time in 3 years they've been an underdog beat in a regular season game.
Yeah. There's some people in the comment section echoing what I'm going to do, which is, where is it? Not Flush Allen. Where is it? Everyone's talking about how this is a stay off game. Someone else said Ewers look shaky. Oh, BT says Ewers looked shaky to me last week, that first half. I mean, overall he cleaned it up in the second half and his numbers were great, right? You think he's okay right now?
Yeah, I mean, he hadn't played in how many games, right? It was just he gets a pass in the first half. What happened in the second half is what I would account for. But Ewers is fine. Nut Flush saying the entire college world will be betting this game. Look, anybody who pays attention, I get it. And Pete, you said it one of the shows earlier. People, you can call me square. I don't give a shit what you call me. when it's college football, college basketball, I like betting these games. And right now I'm hitting at 59.2% on the season in college football. So, everybody else's opinions are cool, but I focus on what I do.
Oh, I hear you. Wager Detective. Texas wins and covers. Yours first game back. Let's see. Chase J. I think Texas goes undefeated all season and wins it all. Not flush 16. I will just enjoy watching it and have money on the friggin' Kennesaw State game. Let's see. Dougie Wise. I won't go anywhere near this game. I mean, I'll go near it, but I won't bet it. I'll go near it though. It's fun to go near games like this, but yeah, I'm not going to bet any actual money.
Who has Texas played this year? Like, let's talk about that for just a second before we move on from this. Okay, let's pull this schedule up. Right, Michigan on the road. Okay, but Michigan's not really all that.
Yeah, but they blew them out.
Yeah, but that, so, and they blew out OU. But like that's what I would expect against those two teams. I would expect that. I just think that going on the road into Alabama, prepared Georgia for this game. I like Georgia here, and I know that everybody's going to be on Texas. So this is one of those ones where I just know it. You've already seen it. I've already seen all my friends on Texas. Everybody's messaged me Texas.
Yeah,
Georgia's overrated. Georgia's not a good football team this year. I get it. I hear it. Georgia might win this football game.
Yeah, no, I mean, without question, I'll give you this, Dabby Cat. This is an extreme. If you take Georgia, this is an extreme buy low on Georgia, sell high on Texas spot. I mean, even anyone who's taken Texas will have to admit they're buying high on Texas and selling low on Georgia. No question about it. Texas off the Oklahoma shellacking, Georgia, winning by 10 at home as a 35-point favorite over Mississippi State. Huge buy low, huge low spot for Georgia, high spot for Texas. So if you're buying Texas here, you're buying high on Texas. You're buying Texas high and you're selling Georgia low. No question about that, which doesn't mean that's not the right thing to do, but that is the situation. No question, Dabby Cat. Wow.
Chase asked if I'm betting them because I think they're good of course they're this whole over. Of course, Georgia is still a good football team, guys. If you didn't watch that game, that Alabama game, I don't know what both of them showed. They are two of the better football teams. And are they as good as they've been in years past compared to other teams? No. There is a smaller gap this year in college football than there has been in a long time from the top teams. However, Georgia, if you don't put them up there with, Oregon, Ohio State, Texas, like, I don't know, we just see different things because Georgia is still a top tier team for me.
Yeah. No, I hear you. All right. I'm going to join Wine Time Sports and Dougie Wise and Nutflush Allen. Wine Time Sports says, tough game. Stay off for me. Leaning Georgia with Dabby. I am going to stay off of this one as well. I hope somehow everyone cashes who bets it in the comment section. And you, Dabby Cab. But interesting game. Dabby Cab. So you're liking Georgia first half, though, not full game.
Yeah, I would make it official. I just can't bet it yet. And I don't like something official until I can bet it.
Yeah.
So you can call it official. As soon as I get a first half line, I'm betting Georgia first half.
I hear you. Oh man, awesome breakdown, Dabby. But in general, you think he's like going to be good to go. He doesn't look shaky to you.
No, yours will be fine. Fine. Like I said, that was the first half of football he's played in a while. Got a lot of pressure on him. You got Manning behind you. Like, he's got to play good, but he turned it on. He did fine. He's one of the best, if not the best, quarterback in college football. I think that Beck has the ability to nullify that, though, which is very important.
Yeah, Wine Time Sports, by far the toughest team Texas faced this year. It's also by far the most competitive line for Texas this year, although it is 3.5. Dabby Cab, awesome segment as always. We'll see you again next Tuesday, baby.
Much love, Pete.
Hell yeah. All right, great show. Now we're going to talk about the one MLB game with Jose Bouquett. And do we have Sharpie joining us?
Yep, let's bring him on. The one, the only Sharpie joins the program. Sharpie, hello.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
How you doing, Sharpie? I have a quick question for you. You think the Mets, or you think that Mets have a fighting chance in this series?
I mean, with Walker Buehler pitching on the road, I think his only chance would be in Dodger Stadium, where he's pitched really well at times. So, tomorrow I haven't bet it, and I probably won't because I don't bet overs. So I'll probably just sit back and watch that game. But I think tomorrow's a for sure first 5 over with Severino and Buehler, and then it goes to the bullpen. So it's really like There it is in that line. It tells you right fucking there, bro, that it's a fucking coin toss. And if the Dodgers, people are going to be like, oh, the Dodgers are dogs. You got to fade them. You got to fade. New York is the biggest betting market in the fucking world.
Right. Oh, yeah.
The Mets are going to get all the money too, bro. Like, don't think like, no, the books are happy with setting it this line. They're going to eat the juice on either which way, and they're going to make their money right here, guys. They're going to get tons of money in this game. So I lean the Mets because Walker Buehler's starting. I mean, I'm not a fan of that guy, but
Right.
every once in a while he shows up. But yeah.
All right. Thanks for answering that one, Sharpie. Now we're going to talk about the one game today, Cleveland Yankees. Man, I have not bet this one. I just want to hear what Sharpie has to say about it. Of course, the Yanks are up 1-0. Of course, the Yanks are a big favorite here. Bybee against Cole. Bybee, 2 solid 4-inning starts in Detroit series. Cole, really nice, awesome start at KC last out, but his home start against KC was a little iffy. Gave up a few runs. I have no idea what I think about this, but before I hear what Sharpie has to say, if you gave me a free play at the line, I'd chuck it on Cleveland as a dog. Why not? What's your take on this game, Sharpie?
I mean, if I was the better side, that's the side I would go with, but we're not betting sides here. We're going to bet 3 different things, and we're going to get into it. We have us a dandy on paper. Well, that's if you like playoff baseball. And we have us some playoff weather as well, guys. It's going to be 50 degrees, low 50s, that is, at the start of the first pitch. And we have the 2 best pitchers of both teams going today in Garrett Cole and Tanner Bybee. With the Yankees coming off of a dominating performance from Carlos Rodon and a shutdown 5-inning save from Luke Weaver, where the Yankees got the Cobb and the very first reliever who came out and then didn't score another run till Stanton's solo shot in the bottom of the 7th. So this to me is a no-brainer spot for me, and I'd bet this first bet 100 of 100 times and live with the outcome, as I do have 3 bets in this game, and I am on the under 7 at minus 105 with my biggest bet. Garrett Cole's outs over 17.5 at minus 125. And then I have an alt parlay with Bybee to get 4 or more strikeouts hooked to the Yankees team total under 4.5 at a minus 110. Wow. Herein why. We have a spot, guys, that one pitcher is on. It's just an easy under. And if both are on, it's a dead fucking under. And I don't see why either pitcher won't show up today. As we backed Garrett Cole last time out, we talked about his 1.5 ERA in a bounce back spot. I also backed him in the game he got fucking rocked. But what did we learn? We talked about it the last time in the second game, that it was a really long rest for Cole, and it just wasn't good for him. Listening to that game, as I listen to every game on the radio, you're going to get more information. And they talked about it, how the long rest, they didn't know coming into it, and it was a problem, obviously. Yet before the rest, guys, Cole was pitching his best baseball, and once back on normal rest, came out and went 7 strong and clinched the playoff series for his team. Now we have a Cleveland team who throughout the playoffs have been like this the whole year, guys. They've been pretty much feast or famine, and they have gotten by without having to see more than 1 ace in a series. Well, not today, Junior. As after watching Rodon talk and about how much he watched Cole's closeout game and how he kept his emotions in check, I knew it was a back Rodon spot yesterday. Now, we look at Cole versus the Guardians in his career, guys. He's dominated them with a 2.82 ERA in 11 games, including 6 shutout earlier this year. Now, you will have people say that Cole's ERA is worse at home. And from abroad, yes. But if you take out the 2 Boston games, which happens to be a team who's had his number through his career, he does have an immaculate 2.85 ERA at home. So I've got to believe the time off was bad for Cole, and we got him ready to rock versus a feast or famine team that he's dominated in the past. I expect a quality start from him, and with him being the ace up in the series, I'm glad. Because I wouldn't be able to take Bybee's outs, guys. The way Volt manages, but you sure as fuck know I'm on Cole's outs over 17.5. As it's my situation I wait for, guys. The guy with the longer leash, meaning if Cole gives up a 3 spot and gets back in line, they're going to let him go 6. Where if Bybee gives up a 3 spot, his team down in the series, he's getting fucking yanked. So the only loss so far at this angle in this postseason has been the angle being back in ace who's up in the series, was Musgrove getting hurt, guys, and he was well on his way to cashing before he tore his vagina. And then, guys, we get to Bibee, who hasn't been in line to record a win in his first 2 postseason starts, and it's not because he hasn't been good. It's because Stephen Vogt's only asking him to keep the game tied or a lead till he could hand it off to the back end of his rotation. What I do know is Bibee is a fucking dog, and if you look at his metrics, guys, it's going to say he pounds the zone, yet he is 1% worse than league average at getting people to chase contact. Well, this is a spot, guys, where I like to remind you numbers are like lawyers. They don't necessarily lie to you. They just don't tell you the whole truth. And with Bibee, guys, something I've learned earlier, guys, is you just need to run the pitch mix. Batter by batter. Yes, it takes time, guys. But if it says play as strikeouts, I will. And what I mean by that, guys, is I normally have a box that I have to check at least 2/3 of the lineup off with. And you have to get through that before I even go through your pitch mix. I've learned I don't even need to look at it. If I was to make that for him, it would be the chase contact, as those are the metrics he struggles in. Well, like I said, it doesn't matter with betting this guy's strikeouts. The only thing here is why I did pull him down, guys, is because I could only project this guy to see 18 batters at worst. I don't know if he's going to go 5. What he has done in his 2 starts is seen the lineup at least 2 times through, and that's what I've got to project, guys. So he's got action at the middle of this lineup. Judge, Wells, Chisholm, and Stanton whiff it 3, if not 4, of his pitch mix. And what I've learned and what he's learned is he's only going a couple times through, where normally Bibee only throws fastball. He'll try to throw a couple changeup if he has to first time through the lineup, and then he'll start unloading his arsenal. Last time out, no. He was throwing the kitchen sink at these boys, guys. So there's a silver outlining in last night's loss for Cleveland. Vogt didn't use any of his top relievers. Kate Smith, Tim Herron, Hunter Gaddis, Emmanuel Clase all got at least a second straight day off, guys, after a hard-fought ALDS Game 5. So, yes, the Guardians might want Bibee to go a little bit longer in this game, but I wouldn't be surprised if he gets yanked middle of the 4th again, guys, if he lets any runners on. So there is another thing people are going to talk about today is Luke Rivera, a.k.a. Luke Weaver. He will pitch today, in my opinion, guys, if they have a safe situation. Yeah, he did that shit against the Royals as well, guys. He did 20 pitches, 5 outs, came back the next day and threw another 3-out save. So if they're in line to get the save, I expect Weaver. Now, Dan Iasonia should be behind the plate today, guys, and he is known as a hitter's umpire. But both these starting pitchers are at least 3% better than league average at being in the zone. And it shows, guys, with both having a better strikeout to walk ratio on 3-2 counts, guys, as they're going to attack you in the zone. That's what aces do. And we have 2 aces in front of us. There you go.
Wow. Oh, man.
I wrote a book, bro. I wrote a little book today. I got
I mean, that's just like I'd like to see anyone doing MLB odds analysis better than that anywhere. I'll put you up against anyone, Sharpie. All right, so I'm thinking about under. Yeah, that seems like and then Nutflush Allen is talking about how Cleveland has struggled to score all year long. Their team total overs are no flies for him. Yeah, the under seems great. Jose Bouquett, I know you like to live bet no runs in upcoming innings. That might be a nice way to go here as well. It does feel like a 3-1 game, low scoring overall, and you like Bibee to get to 5 strikeouts, right?
No, I took Bibee at 4 strikeouts, hooked to the team total under 4.5 of the Yankees.
Wow.
I have him anywhere from 4 to 8, but 8 is if he sees the lineup 3 times.
Right.
So I can't bet the 5 because Vogt hasn't shown that. Vogt has not shown he's going to let him go 5. He's shown in a tie game, as soon as it gets tied, he's getting out. Yeah. He was up 2-1, humming, gives up a solo shot, out the game. He was up or he was up in the game or a tie game, gives up a fucking single, out the game. Cade Smith is up and ready to come in after the 4th inning, and I expect to see the normal. You're going to get Cleveland's dogs today, guys, even if they're down a couple runs. Where the Yankees yesterday, I mean Cleveland, even though it was a 3-run spot, they didn't go to their dogs. They left their guys out there, and they gave all their guys the extra rest. They're pitching today. They're off tomorrow. They're coming into the game no matter what.
Jose Bouquett, what do you think? Should we tail the under and then maybe look at live betting no runs to be scored in upcoming innings like you've been doing, Jose Bouquett? What's your take on this one?
Yeah, I'm on the under. I agree wholeheartedly. I sweat out the under in this game yesterday. It was a 7.5 yesterday. 7 scored. Now we get the 7 here. But I agree. The Guardians, like Sharpie said, didn't use any of their 4 horsemen yesterday. So I expect all of them to go today. I expect Bybee to pitch his ass off. And I did take Cleveland Guardians money line here as well. So I'm on both officially. It's just kind of a desperation spot. You know, I didn't take it with the Mets yesterday, but I talked Dutch off the Dodgers yesterday. And it just feels like, you know, obviously a similar spot. This team is down 1-0. Your goal really in this as a team, you just want one of these road games. If you can take one of these road games, it's such a big deal. And I think that the Guardians know that. All the horses will be out. And I think that it's a low scoring game, 3 runs. First to 3 runs wins this ball game to me. So Cleveland Guardians officially plus 150 and the under here as well, minus 108 for the 7.
Dougie Wise saying Cleveland completely outgunned in this series. And he says Yankees run line has massive value. Not just a little bit.
I understand. But if this is 2-0 going back to Cleveland, it's hard to feel like this isn't done.
I think this is Cleveland's best opportunity to win. This is like Cleveland's only ace. Their only pitcher. Like, if they're going to win a game, I believe it's today. I'm not saying I'm betting them to win. I just think this is when I think 2 people are going to shove, I'm betting the under. I'm not going to pick a side. But if I had to, I'm taking plus money or the 1.5. Like, I'll be a vagina and, you know, maybe split it up. But I can't take a favorite in a spot where I think they both shove. And if that happens, who gives up the solo shot or the 2-run shot in the 7th, 8th, or 9th? I can't guess. I would like to think the Yankees, who's finally given up a run in some freaking extra in the postseason. But yeah, you can't bet things. And what I believe is these guys are going to go shove. And even if one of them shows up, say it is Garrett Cole, cool. I still think the under cashes. I would preferably have the Yankees up on this under after 5. 2-1, 3-2. Fine. We know we're getting Cleveland's back end then with the Yankees back end, which that's the ideal situation because Cleveland's back end's coming in whether they're up or down.
Jose Bouquett, I'm going to make an official bet on this one. Not tailing Sharpie or anyone else. You ready, Jose Bouquett?
Sure.
Neither team to get to 4 runs plus 235, current line at Caesars. Neither team gets to 4 plus 235, current line at Caesars, official play.
I get it. I understand the bet. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. And like Sharpie said, if I think both these guys are going to shove, give me the plus money. Give me the better bullpen and the Guardians. And let's pray to God that Mike Stanton doesn't use that fucking gigantic mammoth swing he has and to hit one ball out of the fucking atmosphere here. So
that dude is a playoff hitter, bro. I mean, he may suck donkey schlong all year long, but when it shows up to the playoffs, guess what? Stanton is their best hitter in the playoffs.
Absolutely.
And Aaron Judge has the most strikeouts in the playoffs in the history of baseball. Put that on some. Talk some Kershaw shit to me now, Yankees fans.
I agree wholeheartedly with you there. It's Soto, Stanton, and then Judge is down here. Like it's incredible, and it's just because he swings hard as fuck every time. That guy, every time.
Interesting stuff here. Steve Fehrenbach liking. He says, "Give me the Guardians, parlay it with the under. We cashing." But again, Dougie Wise, massive value with the Yankees run line. This might be 3-1 Yanks, and the Yankees run line cashes. Neither team to get to 4 cashes. The under cashes easily. Most of Jose Bouquet's live no run bets in the innings cash. And probably the Sharpie parlay with the Bybee strikeout prop cashes as well. Sharpie, once again, just an awesome breakdown. I was going to completely pass on this one. Now I feel like I have a great handle on it. Thanks once again for coming on these shows, Sharpie.
Yeah, man, always, bro. Hopefully it works out. So far, I mean, last series it was up and down for me. This so far, both championship series, knock on wood, we ain't lost yet. We're only a couple games into these, so good read. A lot of my losses are going out my lane, dude, and I gotta just remind myself, stay in your fucking lane. I don't bet certain pitchers, and I can't and I'll do it just be like, oh, I gotta, no, the fuck I don't. And I've learned it the hard way at times because I go back fucking sheluck. So don't do that. Stick to it. Stick to you fucking what you do. And you know what? If I can't back one of the pitchers, like tomorrow, I'm not backing Buehler and I'm not backing fucking Severino. I'm gonna enjoy the fucking game or find some way to fucking. I don't like fading people either. I know people like to do that. It didn't work out for me like 3-4 years ago, man. I think fucking Pineda it was. I was fucking fading that dude left and right, bro, and just getting shellacked. Like, oh, no, it's got to be coming. Nope. No, double up this time, dude. Like, you know what? No, these guys are MLB pitchers. They can have good games.
Absolutely.
And I stopped betting against dudes to have bad games. So now if I see you in a back-to-back and I see you in a situation where you do struggle like that or one team has your fucking number, then you can't ignore shit like that then.
No, absolutely. Do what you do. Such an important rule in life. It's like when Metallica made that record with Lou Reed. It's like, what are you doing? Come on. Making a record with Lou Reed. What are you doing? Do what you do, and you do it well. Absolutely. Yeah. Sharpie, so great to see you again. We'll talk to you again very soon.
All right. See you later, Sharpie. Sharpie always, he exits right before I can pull him, and it's so funny to me. That's just a me thing. But go ahead. Sorry, Pete.
All right, yeah, so I'll review all my official plays just in case anyone's keeping track. I am taking Cleveland Yanks, total over 2.5, minus 137. What a great show, Jose, you have going on this week. What do you want to talk to us about?
Well, just as a reminder, as always, guys, we do have the Alamo Card Show coming up in November, November 16th and 17th. I believe we have some on-site graders as well here. Pete, I know you're interested in all the shoes and such as well, so that'll all be going down here in San Antonio as well as a trade night here. You could, obviously the Joe Burrow card you had has emotional value that cannot be traded away. But Pete, in this hypothetical world, you could be trading that Joe Burrow card and end up with like a Hank Aaron rookie card. Who knows what could happen with you? Maybe you can get your Bob Gibson rookie card back and this as well. Who knows, Pete? Who knows?
Who knows? Exactly, Jose Bouquett. That's the other thing. The other thing to remember in life, A, do what you do, and you do it well. B, who knows? Who knows? With those two rules of life, man, you're set on the road for success. Absolutely, Jose Bouquett.
Those are beautiful.
Just remember those two things. Do what you do, and who knows?
See you guys next time.